have over 250,000 subscribers on this YouTube channel.
Hey Thomas.
And my channel gets over 1 million views a month. My Instagram has 126,000 plus followers. I get to travel the world. I get to photograph what I want, when I want. So based on that, you would think that I would be able to create quite the portfolio of images. But you know what? It's not the case. I document my photography through the videos on this channel, but that's not to say that every single video is a success story. Not every single video documents a successful photography trip, yet I still show the results and show the journey. Landscape photography is the supreme test of the photographer, and often the supreme disappointment. Ansel Adams, one of the most iconic landscape photographers who ever lived, said, 12 significant photographs in any one year is a good crop. It's now June, we're halfway through the year, and I've taken a lot of photographs. Most of them I like, some of them I don't like, and only a few of them I would class as keepers. In a couple of months I'll be releasing my 2019 calendar, for which I would hope that I can fill with 12 keepers. So I'm going to go through some of my images now, and I'm going to pick a couple that I think are keepers, and I'll discuss this and I'll discuss why, and I'm also going to choose a couple of images that are not keepers and explain why. All of these images have been photographed this year, so from January, and they've all appeared in my YouTube videos. So since January I have captured and edited into my videos 50 photographs, and I'm going to pick out some of the keepers and some that aren't keepers, and the rest, well, I've still pretty much not made my mind up. Okay, let's start with this photograph. This was captured in Death Valley. It has very unusual conditions, lots of rain. You can see here there's lots of beautiful mist and some nice side lights. Now I was walking back from a shoot I'd just previously done on the mudflats, and I saw the light, I saw the mist, and I was desperately looking for a composition, and this was the best I could find. Now the image is okay, but it's not what I would describe as a keeper. I've included it in my video and it's a nice image, but for me the whole thing felt too rushed. Not in a good way. Sometimes you can see a composition and you can just nail it and you love the image. This I just don't like. We've got the grasses in the foreground which look untidy and they're chopped off, and again I don't know. It's just, for me, it's not that I dislike the image, I just don't feel like it was photographed with much purpose. This image, on the other hand, this is a keeper. This was photographed in February, and this is leaves trapped beneath ice. You can see the beautiful bubbles in the ice and the textures of those decaying leaves, and the colours complement each other so well, and this image is very artistic, very abstract. And for me, I could look at this image for a long time. I never get bored of looking at this image. It's not abrasive, it doesn't, you know, it doesn't smack you in the face. It's a very subtle, soft image, and that's why I like it. I'm very fortunate to have found this composition, and I spent ages tweaking my camera, you know, inching it left, inching it right, just to frame this and capture it how I wanted. And the result in the end is exactly what I was hoping for. So not only do I like the image, but the process was very deliberate. Therefore, this felt very rewarding. Okay, we'll go to this image, which is not a keeper. This image for me, this had so much potential. I was really hopeful for this composition. That tree is beautiful, the view is fantastic, looking down into the valley in Patagonia where you have the rivers on the right hand side, the tree on the left. It's well balanced, but for me the image doesn't work as well as I'd hoped. I know that this could be so much better. The lighting was not great / non-existent, and the skies, I had real trouble with that sky because it was so bright compared to dark valley where there wasn't much going on, and the image to me feels busy, it feels cluttered, it feels a bit sickly. So for me, unfortunately, this is not a keeper. And when I say keeper, what I'm talking about is not images that you would post on social media. Of course, I post lots on social media, images I'm happy with and cool photographs. Keepers are the 4-star images, the ones that will, for example, make my calendar, or the ones I would publish in a book one day, or the ones that go on my portfolio page on my website. Those are keepers. So not just images in my videos and not just social media images, they're not all keepers. Yeah, I just thought I'd clarify that as I continue this video, just so there's no confusion. Okay, this is another keeper. This is from Patagonia, so the same trip. This is very, very similar to those leaves trapped in the ice in terms of compositionally. We really worked hard on this scene to make it work. You know, we struggled to find this image, so it was earned. You know, we really earned this composition, this photograph. And the subject, the light, is very quiet. It's a very soft palette of colours. It's non-abrasive. It doesn't reach out and headbutt you. It's just a nice, soft, warm, subtle image. And for me, I don't know, that's what I like. That is going to stick with me for a long time. Again, this would look nice on the wall. I'll probably make this available as a print. I haven't got round to doing it yet and sourcing the right papers and stuff, but I will. I really like this photograph, and it is most certainly a keeper. Now this image, this is more of a recent image. This was photographed in Svalbard from a fun trip, and me and Morton, we had a great time. Check out Morton's channel here, by the way, he's superb. But the trip photographically wasn't great. You know, it was an adventure, lots went wrong, there was no light, the weather came in, it was, you know, the usual stuff. But this photograph really speaks to me. It's very quiet, very peaceful, very subtle, almost like a painting. And it seems that I'm drawn to these soft images, these gentle images, negative space, quiet, peace, solitude. That's what this image says to me. And for me, this is why it's a keeper. I like the subtle tones and the very gentle subject matter. So it's not aggressive. You know, this would probably, I don't know, I haven't posted it to Instagram, but this would, I expect, do terrible on Instagram. You're going to swipe right past this image, but hang this on a wall in a nice frame, and you'll be able to live with this image for a long time. For me, that's what I look for in my photography. This image here, another from Patagonia. This, for me, it's not a keeper. Which is crazy because it's beautiful, you know, the light on that mountain and the clouds, and that's what I saw in the moment. That's what I captured with my long lens, and I was very happy and excited when I got this image, and I was blown away with the light and the situation and everything that was happening around us. But looking at this image now, it's missing something. Compositionally, I think it's missing something. It's missing depth, scale. It's lacking a bit of interest. It needs another element. That's what it needs. So although I love the photograph and I'll happily slap this on Instagram, you know, I just wouldn't say it was a keeper. There's just not enough there. I wouldn't enter this into a competition, for example. You know, this is nice, but I'm not super, super proud of it. I like it, but I wouldn't want to publish it in a book or my calendar or anything like that. It's just not quite there. So, not a keeper. Alright, let's finish with this image. This one, I would say, is a keeper. In my opinion, and of course, all of this is subjective. And a lot of photographers and other people and my viewers and you guys, everyone, you know, hello. You might not agree that one is a keeper. And you might look at the other one and say, no, that's definitely a keeper. But with the greatest respect, it's how I feel about my work. And that's how you should treat your work. It's how you feel, not what the masses think. The only exception to that is when you're shooting to a brief for a client. But when you're out there as a hobbyist, shooting for yourself, that's exactly what you need to do. You can only judge your own work Don't let other people judge your work for you. Unless, constructive criticism's nice, but in your heart of hearts, if you're happy with your image, then that truly is all that matters. And that sounds cheesy, but if you're true to yourself, you'll probably find that your work flourishes and you develop your own style. And so that's really important to be your own worst critic, of course, but try not to be influenced too much by other people. So yeah, anyway, this image, this is a keeper. I love this image. I really like this image. This has longevity. It's capturing this photograph, had to endure that beast from the east, the blizzards that were whipping across. It was fairly brutal, but great fun. And it's funny, before the snow came, I couldn't find a composition that that would work. This image basically didn't work without that ferocious blizzard blowing through. So I was patient and I waited in the cold and I worked hard for this photograph, and it was exactly how I pictured in my mind. And for me, the satisfaction of working hard, creating the image, framing the composition, waiting for the conditions that I wanted. When the conditions happened, I knew they were going to happen because the blizzards were blowing through every 10 or 15 minutes. And it was a culmination of experience and vision, and I got this photograph. So for those reasons alone, I'm happy with it. And I think it's a strong enough image to definitely be a keeper. So that was 50 images that I've captured from January until now. So in 6 months, 50 images in my videos. And now I often change my mind about images. So there will be some that I didn't pick there that I think are keepers and will be keepers, and I might change my mind here and there. But generally, as a rule, I'd say in that 50, maybe like 5, 6 or maybe 7, I can definitely say are keepers. So that's, I don't even know what percentage that is. 10%. That's probably about 15%. Okay, so 15% of the images I've captured from January to today are keepers. And I guess the point I'm trying to make here, the point I'm trying to make with this is just don't beat yourself up. Okay, you have to work really hard for these keepers. Lots of things have to come together. You have to get great conditions, a great subject, great light. You have to not make mistakes, don't miss your focus, don't accidentally overexpose in JPEG or something like that. A lot of things have to come together, experience and patience and all these things. And here's the thing that I always observe online, and I've mentioned this in previous videos, but if you're looking at your own work and you're thinking to yourself, oh man, my images, that's just not good. When you look online, you see all these amazing images on Instagram, and that's what you want to achieve, and you think you're rubbish because you're not achieving these images. Well, don't feel like that. I've just showed you 50 photographs, 5 or 6 or 7 of which are keepers. But I'm very fortunate that I do this full time. I get to travel to amazing places and I still don't nail it. So when you're looking at photographs online, you're looking at a very, very, very concentrated pool of excellent images from a lot of excellent photographers who've probably, lots of excellent processing and all that sort of stuff, and they've been polished up and presented nicely within Instagram or whatever app you want to use. Just know that nobody nails it every time. Nobody. So if you were to take all of those images that you see online that are making you feel a bit crap about your own photographs, and you could perhaps see all of the images, even the ones that got chucked away, the ones that never even got edited, the ones that got edited but then didn't quite make the cut, you'll probably find that most photographers only really nail it like, maybe 15-20%. Just like Ansel Adams said, the true master, the true legend of landscape photography, Ansel Adams, said a crop of 12 images in a year is a good year. That is definitely something to live by, something to remember. So, with that being said, I hope you've enjoyed this video all about keepers, and yeah, just crack on with your photography, do your own thing, and more of those keepers will come your way. Thanks for watching, and until next time, bye for now.